Kung Fu Burger. One of the gates of Chinatown from another angle, King Charles Cinema, or Prince Charles Cinema even. So this is another famous, well-known restaurant in Gerrard Street, just on the corner, so hence it's called Gerrard's Corner. And behold, the infamous Wong Kei restaurant still holds the dubious title of the most rudest restaurant in London, if not the UK. It seems like every vlogger who covers Chinatown would open up their video standing in front of one of the gates. So I'm no exception. I'm sorry, I did try to be a little bit more original, but I succumbed to the grand design and the colours and all the charm that it invokes. So here I am, opening up my own video to my walk around tour of Chinatown. So it's a lovely warm start to June. Thankfully not too hot, as I imagine I'll be doing a bit of walking around, and there's a lot of people, a lot of the hustle and bustle. It's very real, as it's always been in Chinatown. Believe it or not, this isn't the first or only Chinatown in London. The Chinatown we know and see now came to life in and around about the early 1950s, so just post-war. The original Chinatown, which I will go through in some more detail later in the video. So, alright, I'm going to circulate the Chinatown area, capture some nice first-person point of view footage, and some rolling commentary on the way. And I'll try to keep my face away off camera for as long as possible. Alrighty then, so I'm going to start on one end of Gerrard Street and then go from where I'm standing. I'm going to go clockwise, so I'll be going through Newport Place. I remember coming here as a child in the 80s under Thatcher, many years ago, and a lot of the buildings I see I recognise, especially these red bricked properties up here, and the car park, which I believe is extremely extortionate back then, and it's very expensive now. Yeah, I want to see what the parking prices are at the moment in today's money. Right, so they didn't have the actual rates on display here, but I did quickly check their website. It's £10 an hour and £62 for 24 hours. By the way, you didn't come here to see car parks in and around central London. We come here to explore Chinatown, so let's continue. Right, so we're into, I believe this is Newport Place. I should know this. I mean, how many times have I been around here? But it's all spread out through 4 decades. I'm pretty sure I've ate or dined in most of these restaurants, mainly as a boy with my family, and maybe into my teens. Yeah, much less so as a grown-up. But that bakery is one of the 2 main bakeries. There's three go-to places to get cakes, buns in Chinatown. But there's a lot more that's cropped up over the years, especially Korea and Japan. Their influence has certainly started to enter into the shop fronts of Chinatown also. I'm just waffling, am I? I don't know much about bakery and cakes and desserts of Asia. I'm not particularly much of a sweet tooth anymore. I'm just much more of a savoury guy. Yeah. So this is Newport Place. So there we go. And then you got adjacent to that is Lyle Street, which is where you find, from my memory that is, more like provisions, so supermarkets, grocers. So it's a good place to get Chinese, Asian produce, especially vegetables. Vegetables are very difficult to get out from your normal mainstream supermarkets. And yeah, you can see on the end there's Leicester Square. So yeah, Chinatown's managed to embed itself in the heart of Soho back in the 1950s, and the boundaries of Chinatown it's probably informally demarcated by Leicester Square in the south, Theatreland on the east, and then Piccadilly on the west, and you've got Shaftesbury Avenue on the north end of Chinatown. I recall this road wasn't pedestrianised. I remember my dad used to drive through it in his Ford Cortina, and we would mount up on the curb as the road was rather narrow, so yeah, people would have to park on the curb halfway across the curb, and then you had one of those old style parking meters, the ones made out of steel. You put in 10 pence, 20 pence in, and you'll get about half an hour parking, thereabouts. And this is the infamous Siwu supermarket. So it's the largest Chinese Asian supermarket in Britain, and not this particular branch. There are a few dotted around London. There's one in Charlton, which is more akin to the size of, they say, a typical Sainsbury's in a retail park. King Charles Cinema, or Prince Charles Cinema even. Is it Lyle or Lisle Street? You know what, I've never actually attempted to find out its correct pronunciation. It's quite an unusual combination of letters, and yeah, not a word that's often used, is it, or anything that rhymes with it. So, okay, I'll have to find that out. Yeah, I remember this particular building. I may be wrong, but before this was a social pub and kitchen, it was likely to be a restaurant, a Chinese, Cantonese style restaurant, and there would be a vertical dragon up along those column bay windows. I could be wrong, but it's all pedestrianised now, but back in the day, cars would loop around here. I think it's a one-way system back then. I've not even thought about how I'm going to do this video. Will I just do as I'm doing now, first person view, and I'm just talking, waffling along the way, or should I just do sort of more static, still shots and then commentate through it? So I want to do a little bit of both. In fact, I just think just walking around and just saying what I'm seeing has its place, but I think I need to sort of mix up a little bit. It's another one of the gates that marks the entrance into the heart of Chinatown. Yeah, very splendid colour combinations there, lovely detailing. So this is Wardour Street, which is a quintessential part of Soho, and one of the, along with Gerrard Street, is hosted the first run of Chinese establishments. So you're talking about your restaurants and shops, and yes, and it just expanded from here. Okay, this is another one of the bakery shops that I was talking about. So yeah, that's one of the three that have been around for many years now. Yeah, I don't know the name of what this particular item is. It just tells you it's a fish with what's inside it. So it comes with fillings, and you're seeing someone making it on display. But I don't know the name of it. I quite like the fact that it's been labelled Rupert Court twice, just in case you're not sure. Another shot of one of the gates of Chinatown from another angle. I wonder if they have their own separate name or designation. And alas, the infamous Mr. Wu Chinese restaurant, most famously known for its hot buffet. Very cheap. Eat as much as you like. Imagine it's cash only as well. Yep, I was right. To keep our prices as low as possible, cash only. There you have it. And if you want cash around Chinatown, be prepared to queue up. I certainly needed it. I was looking around, walked around sort of Piccadilly area, and about 3 cash machines I tried to withdraw money from had no cash in it. Ridiculous. And behold, the infamous 1K restaurant. It held or still holds the dubious title of the most rudest restaurant in London, if not the UK. I've actually dined in here a couple of years ago in the evening. I was queuing outside and was expecting to be given a good kicking in terms of customer service, and I certainly got some of it. But from legend has it, for those who have been to 1K years ago, the experience is quite watered down now. And of course, it's cash only, no service charge either, so helps keep the costs down. 1K has always been known for good food that's affordable, and they try to retain that to this day. So this is another famous, well-known restaurant in Gerrard Street, just on the corner, so hence it's called Gerrard's Corner. But I don't recall ever dining in here, or maybe if I had back in the 80s. My parents weren't particularly impressed with it, so we never came back. And we're now walking through Gerrard Street from trying to think of my bearings right now. But yeah, this is one of the most famous parts of Soho, Chinatown. This is where the majority of the footfall happens, and sort of the prime location. There is the infamous Kowloon Bakery and Restaurant. It's more of a cafe style restaurant, so buffet. And I think you're generally only allowed about 1 hour at the table, because you need to finish up and make way for the next customer. They want to keep turnover as high as possible. You know what, all these years I have come here and I just never paid attention of the lovely mosaic flooring. I wonder if it's the original or just it was renovated or restored maybe a couple of decades ago, but yeah, it's a nice detail, that is. Yeah, this is one of my favourite go-to places in Chinatown back in the day. I'm going to come back here at the end of the vlog to get some selection of cakes, as it's been quite a few years since I treated myself to some, so yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back here and just pick something out from the counter. And the last one, the Lun Fung restaurant. So this has been around for some time also. Yeah, it's good to see they're still doing fine, thriving, plenty of customers still. Just caught my eye the display of Cantonese barbecue meat. So you got your soy chicken and your infamous Cantonese roast duck. Not to be confused with Peking roast duck, completely different thing. And you got your roast pork belly. Look at the size of that. A whole roast duck for £32. Lido Chinese restaurant is part and parcel of Chinatown. It's been around for quite some time now, and quite a few vloggers have covered this place. So I mentioned in the opening section of this video is that this Chinatown isn't the actual original London Chinatown. There was actually something that predated this, and it was based in Limehouse, so on the East End of London. Chinese sailors who were often employed by the East India Tea Company would find themselves arriving in the shores of England, either London or Liverpool, with nothing to do until the next chartered trip home. They found work. So the original Chinatown served as more of an actual community hub for Chinese sailors and immigrants who made themselves over to the United Kingdom, or more specifically London, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So the original Chinatown wasn't particularly held in high regard back in Britain in the late 1800s, early 1900s. There was a growing amount of resentment, fear, xenophobia surrounding the mysterious Chinese community, and numbers of those who immigrated to London were greatly exaggerated to compound the fears. It even came to a point where politicians were actively deporting Chinese sailors, or those who have migrated to London or to the United Kingdom and even started families here. So they were swiftly rounded up and sent back to China. And if things weren't bad enough in the original Chinatown, World War II happened, and in particular the Great Blitz of London. The Nazis specifically targeted the east side of London with the view that if they were to destroy the east side of London, they would indeed cut off the critical supplies going into the rest of London. So by extension, that meant that the original Chinatown was laid to waste, and those remaining settlers in Chinatown were left homeless and jobless with very little to look forward to, really. Somehow after the war had ended, there was an opportunity for them to relocate to SOHO, where rents were still very, very cheap, and there must have been plenty of vacant properties in abundance to set up shop there. And then the rest is history. Oh, the sun has come out now. It was a bit cloudy when I first arrived, but it's certainly picked up. It feels warmer, much more akin to summer now, which is very much welcome. So I'm walking down the northern periphery of SOHO / Chinatown, more namely Shaftesbury Avenue. And yeah, so as I walk up along here, there's going to be a fire station, which is, I think, is still in operation. That's been around for a long time, for as long as I can remember. And yeah, we'll see a few more. There should be still a few more restaurants, sort of the Asian cuisine restaurants along here. It kind of just marks the boundaries of Chinatown itself, as it borders into the surrounding places such as Theatreland. And what is it about people with loud bikes? It doesn't sound very good, and it just makes a big racket, and there's no upside to it. Sorry, I'm just moaning. So yeah, so I'm just crossing Gerard's Place, which if you turn back into Gerard's Place, that'll take you right back into the thick of Chinatown. And yeah, I just want to cover sort of the fringe parts of the area. So you got more sort of shops here, Indonesian, but yeah, I don't think they're open anymore. I think you'll find this is the less prime area for those who want to set up shop for vending your particular cuisine. So yeah, as you can see, it's a bit more diversity here. It's a shift away from the Cantonese, traditional Cantonese style shops and restaurants. Kung Fu Burger. No comment. So I'm standing what I think is the corner, one of the corners of Chinatown. So just on the entrance of Macclesfield Street, and this will just lead us back into the heart of Chinatown. Oh, that's an interesting pub here. As you know what, the marriage of pubs and lots of places to eat is a marriage made in heaven, don't you think? Yeah, I think I'm just, if I walk around a little longer, I might develop a thirst and maybe treat myself to a pint or two somewhere. So with the ever-increasing popularity and appetite for Chinese food in and around London, more and more restaurants had to be open to meet the demand. But that also called for the need for more kitchen staff. So increasing amount of Chinese immigrants made their way into London. They even had a special travel agency who would deal with and facilitate the immigration into the London area. But you'll find the majority of those who did make it over to London were fast-tracked into the world of catering, and there was pretty much no other career aspects other than that. Hours were long, pay wasn't particularly very good, however, all is relative, and it meant that it was a way for a better life. So those early Chinese settlers who found work in SOHO doing those 60, 70 hour week shifts had very little to do in their spare time other than perhaps gamble. So from what I can recall walking up and down Gerrard Street and Wardour Street is there's numerous steps going down into the lower ground floor of various restaurants and buildings in the area, and they will take you down to those gambling dens. Generally it will be filled with cigarette smoke, lots of green tea, beer, other forms of alcohol, and the sound of dominoes being clattered around. I don't think that exists in Chinatown today. If there is, then there's probably only a handful left, as of course there's a different generation of people working and living here now, and hobbies and interests have changed over the years, and there's just a lot more diversity than there was back in the 50s and 60s. I've only just noticed this now, but there's quite a number of memorial plaques to historical people, individuals. There's even one of the blue plaques above the 1K. There you go. And I've got a box full of baked goodies. Right, I need to find somewhere to sit down. Maybe we should find a pub somewhere and just catch up and do the closing piece to this video. Okay, so I've parked up at the Porcupine Pub in the corner of Charing Cross Road. Yeah, it's found an empty table outside, so I thought, why not just grab that while I got the chance. I mean, I could keep going circulating the Chinatown area for a spare table, but I imagine I'll be there for quite some time, so I think this will just have to do. And it's a Nicholson run pub as well, so I'm quite a fan of some of their ales. I just gone for the in-house ale bitter, so that will do just fine and more than adequate to keep me refreshed. So I've got myself some baked delights from the Kowloon Bakery. It's kind of trying to relive my childhood memories somewhat, so appeal to the inner 5-year-old. I am going to break a piece of this off and just try a little bit. This is the first time for me. Never had a barbecue pork bun sitting outside a pub in London before with a pint of ale. Yeah, it's a new one, but I think there's worse places to eat this. It's as delicious as I remember it. It's not heated up. It's these things taste best when they're warm, but still very tasty. Make an amazing lunch or snack. Yeah, you can see the inside there. You got the chopped pork, barbecue pork with the sweet and sour filling inside. Yeah, very, very, very tasty. Yeah, I'm not going to eat all of this. I'm still full from the lunch I had earlier, so I'm just going to have to finish off this little piece and then close the box up and then just enjoy my drink. You know, I have to be honest with you all. I'm not sure how this particular video is going to turn out. I did mention earlier about how am I going to, what formats I'm going to use to make this video. There's going to be a mix of point of view, first person point of view footage, and then there'll be sort of still shots, and there'll be shots of me talking at the camera. That's all well and good, and I've done all that stuff before, but what has thrown me somewhat is the sort of the patchwork randomness of Soho in its entirety. So you mix Chinatown with the original London landmarks, the pubs, the buildings, the other cafes, shops and restaurants from other immigrants. So in particular Italian establishments from the migrants who settled in Soho before the Chinese settled here. There's a lot going on, and it's just quite something to absorb in. And when you're vlogging as well, you're trying to process all this information, and you've got all this sensory overload around you, and you've got people, you've got traffic, sounds and noises and smells and sights. So you're trying to keep focused on what you're trying to do, but you're also trying to absorb information to try and make sure that is captured and presented on the video. We'll see how it goes in the editing phase of things. I'm sure I'll be shaking my head in disappointment at some parts, but I hope there's going to be something of entertainment and some informative value to viewers. Alright, so I think I'm going to stop stop it from there, because I imagine this video is going to be quite lengthy and I don't want to add too much talking into it, as I've done quite a fair amount of talking as it is. I'm going to finish off my drink and then catch my train home. So I hope you have enjoyed the video, and thank you to all my existing subscribers who have been supporting my channel, and I hope this is something that is of entertainment to you. And for those who are new and not seen my videos before and this is something that you like, then please give me a thumbs up, or more importantly, please subscribe, as it will make all the difference. Alright, so until the next time, I shall bid you good day or good evening, depending on where you are, and I'll see you again in the next video.